Okay, guys, hello, welcome. I'm going to give people a few minutes to mosey on over. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm 5 minutes late. There's so much last minute stuff to do all the time. Okay, so if you're here, say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys. It's Heather Powers here for Bead Table Wednesday, and my business is Humblebeads. I think you'll probably know that already. So I'm a bead maker, jewelry designer, author, illustrator, and instructor, and I'm here to inspire you guys. And I hope today you find this fun little project, one you'll just want to pull out your Sari silk and get to work. Hi Debbie, nice to see you here. So if you've ordered from Humblebeads, you know already you always get a little sample of Sari silk in your order. And so Sari silk, it's either taken from actual saris, or it's the factory remnants of Sari silk that are made into linens. Cords. Yeah, I'll get it right. And they're the ones that I send you guys are all hand dyed from one of my favorite artists, Lachelle, here on Facebook, Design Talented Ones. She is not doing much dyeing anymore, and she only has sales every few months. So I was able to get a ton of it, like a box of it, to offer you guys for sale in the website. So we'll be starting today with a few little trios, and we'll be introducing a few trios every few days on the website, and they'll just be limited edition because they're all hand dyed. Hi Lauren and Zoe and Lynn, my dear friend Lynn, and Candy and Dina. Nice to have you guys. Cindy, hi. So I hope you guys are excited about the Sari silk. If you've ordered from me, I'm sure you have a little stash of it already, and I'm going to show you a super simple way to make a Sari tassel. All you need is silk and a jump ring. No other items are required to make this tassel, so that's even better, right? And I think I'm just going to jump in and get started. So I'm going to first show you guys how to make the little tassel. It's going to take just a few minutes to show you just a few seconds to show you how to make this tassel. Oh, hi Holly, you're going to watch later because you have to go get some flowers. So jealous. I want to be flower shopping right now. Hey Susan and Christina, nice to have you guys here. Marlene from New Hampshire, hello everybody. So what we're going to need for this project is a 14mm jump ring. You could use any larger jump ring. You could use a 15mm, or a 12mm would even work. I'm going to use these little 14mm twisted rope ones for this smaller size piece that I have. And then you're going to need 10 to 12 inches of Sari silk. I have 12 inches here just because I'd rather cut off and waste 2 inches than be short. So that's important. When you get your Sari silk, you're going to see that it's come on, focus camera. Let me help that camera out real quick. Maybe. Oh, there you go. So you see how it's all scraggly here? This is actually, you're going to prep the Sari silk just by grabbing those little extras and pulling them off along the edge of the strand. So you just want to take a second and clean up your edge of your Sari silk so that you don't have these little extra strands. And you just pull at them and they'll just come right off. And then you have kind of a slightly frayed edge look, which is nice. Okay, so this is all cleaned up now. So you just go through along the edge and just pull on it, and if any little strands pull off, you just want to yank them off until they're gone. Okay, so that's really important. So all the Sari silk you're going to get are going to have those little frayed threads, and you just want to get rid of all of them so that you have just the nice little edge on there and not any little extra strings hanging off. Okay, make sure your jump ring's closed tightly. And you're going to string the ribbon through, and you want to start with close to however long you want your little tassel to be. So I'm gonna grab my ruler and see how big. I have all different sizes that I've been making, so these ones are about 1.5 inches, that size, which looks really cute with the birds. So I'm gonna just go with a 2-inch one so that I have some ribbon to cut off at the end, so I can give it a little haircut and have it nice and straight. Okay, so I've just put it on the jump ring one time, and now I'm going to take the ribbon and fold it over so you can see there's a little loop on one side, and I'm going to stick it through the back of the jump ring towards the front again. So I have one looped one, the first one's on the inside, and then the last part of the ribbon is on the outside. And I'm going to take the ribbon, the end here, and I'm going to wrap it around all of the ribbons here. I'm going to leave this space open. So you want to have a little open space, and you're going to take the end of your ribbon and stick it down into that little loop. And you're just going to pull, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to pull on the knot, but then I'm also going to pull on the extra little strands, the 3 strands hanging down. And I'm going to keep doing that until my knot is nice and tight. And now all we have to do is trim. You want to make sure you use a really sharp pair of scissors, and I'm going to trim that little loop open like that, and then I'm going to put all of the cords together and give them a little haircut so they're all the same size. And that is the easiest tassel in the world. What do you guys think? So cute, isn't it? So fast and easy. I'll do one more so that you can see everything again. So starting with that 14mm jump ring, and I'm going to grab 12 inches of ribbon here. Gonna just clean this one up a little bit. And so I'm just going along here and pulling on the edge, and if there are any little loose strings, they'll just start to come off. Okay, that one looks nice and clean. And this ribbon's a little bit thicker, so the Sari silks, they come in varying thicknesses, so you don't have to worry about what kind of thickness it is. You're just going to have varying thicknesses of ribbons. Okay. Yes, these would definitely make cute little earrings just the way they are. Great idea, Barbara. Okay, so I'm going to start with about 2 inches here, and then I'm going to pull this ribbon through, and it doesn't matter if you pull it through forward or backward. And I'm kind of trying to keep these straightened as I pull them through so that they're not all twisted around. Okay, I'm pulling down on my ribbons just to have them a little tighter on the loop here. And now you're going to wrap this around. And so I'm wrapping this ribbon underneath the jump ring around all 3 of the ribbons, and I'm going to pull it through the top of that loop and pull it down. And these chunkier ribbons are a little bit fussier, so you just gotta be careful as you pull it through. Okay, now I'm going to put it down so that I can use both hands, and I'm pulling on my ribbon that I've pulled through to tighten the knot, and I'm also pulling on the other two ribbons that were there before to get that knot nice and tight. Okay, and then you're going to open up your loop by trimming it, and then make sure they're layered all together. Have your shortest one so that you can see it, and give them a little haircut. And there are your tassels. That one's a little bit longer. They all work. You could even do a longer tassel if you're into something a little bit bigger. So super, super easy, simple way to make a tassel. No other, nothing else is required. I love that. I was really trying to come up with something different for you guys, and so I was happy to see this manifest itself. Now let's talk about making the necklace. So I'm going to have kits for this one right here on the website after the video, but I wanted to show you guys some other combinations because you can totally make your own kits. I have a few different birds available on the website, and this is the one I'm going to put together for our video here. So I have these are 12mm English cut, and then 5x3 faceted rondelles, and I'm just pulling out colors from the little bird here. So I have some purpley flowers and yellow, and so that's where I'm getting my colors from. And I did the same here. I just decided to go with green with the coral. I thought that was really pretty. And then another color combination you could do is this metallic kind of rose color that I have with the new pink 12mm English cut beads. And then I have these rondelles that are clear and they have a gold center, and so you just, perfect. And then this will be the Sari silk that I'll have listed for that one that'll match. The other thing you'll need are some little branches, and so I do have them in all three of the finishes. I have them in gold, copper plated, and sterling silver plated, and these are pewter bases with the plated metal on the top of them. They're super high quality, made in the USA. Some of my favorite components ever, and I think I'm going to do copper with this necklace that I have picked out. And I'm a mixed metal kind of person. I just love mixing metals. Totally cool with that. So if you need to have your metals match, you can do that too, but I like to have them all mixed up. We'll also need 12mm hibiscus flowers. I'm going to move this guy out of the way. I'm going to pull out 3 little bell flowers too, and these are little white ones, and those are going to be hanging on the top. I'm going to use some twisted jump rings. You can use plain jump rings if you want. You don't have to use twisted if you don't have them available. And I have them in 6mm and 9mm. So Nancy, what I just showed you with the color combinations, they're not kits, but I've put them all at the top of my website page so you can get the items a la carte of how you want to make your necklace. I just I didn't have enough birds to make a bunch of kits, only of the peach color that I have extra ones. So that's what I have, are the peach birds as kits, which is the original design that I did. This one And they're not on the website yet, so don't go rushing off, guys. I'm going to put them on after the video. So this will be the kit, and the other one are components that you can buy individually. So thanks for asking that great question. And the little birds, if you're new to Humblebeads, these are my creations, and they're made out of polymer clay, and each little flower and design that you see are all different layers of different colors of polymer clay. So good to know. All right, what else do I need here? So I've got my jump rings. I'm going to grab a 15 millimeter smooth jump ring. And some wire. I'm going to use 18 gauge twisted wire for the bird. And then I'm going to use, let me grab the right one, 20 gauge in the natural brass. And on the necklace that I used with the gold, I used raw brass, so you can see it's a brighter brass metal. And so that's what I used for this necklace, and that's what will be in the kit, is the brighter brass. Okay, I'm going to move this guy out of the way. I'm going to cut my strands here. I have exactly what I need. And I'll put this on the blog today with the supply list so you guys can see everything you need to put your kit together too. I know that helps, so I will work on that this afternoon. Okay. So through the magic of television, I have 2 of these little flowers already on the head pin. These are just little 1-inch head pins. You can use your chain nose pliers and wire cutters and make a wrapped loop. I'm going to cheat and use these vintage loopers, and you just put it in there and give it a squeeze, and it makes a perfect little simple loop. Not wrapped loops, simple loops, guys. So that's just the one-step vintage looper. You just stick it in there and press the handles, and it cuts and wraps it. So I'm sure you guys know how to do simple loops. If you don't, just look at and you'll find directions for simple loops. Okay, so I'm going to have 3 of these little flowers on the head pins. I'm going to take 6 inches of this twisted wire. I love the texture of this twisted wire, and it's from Vintage. Okay, I'm going to make a wrapped loop here. I'm going to leave about 2 inches of wire on the end, twisted around my pliers to make the loop. I'm going to grab the back of this loop and pull it so that the loop is straight with my wire here. And I'm going to grab the loop with flat nose pliers, and I'm going to wrap around 2 times nice and tightly, and then I'm going to wrap around 2 times on top of my first wraps to make that messy little wrap. And I want this to end in the back, so I'm going to trim that off and pinch that little end in. Okay, I'm going to throw on my bird, and I'm going to repeat the same on the top. So I'm going to first bend the wire at an angle and then grab it to make the loop. You're going to have to pull it over the bead to get that little loop going. Then grab onto the loop, and you're going to twist the wire 2 times tightly. And I just use my fingers, but you can use a second pair of pliers if you want, if you find that easier. Okay. And I want to make sure that I'm ending this in the back. So there's going to be a front side and a back side, and you can see the little end that I cut off there. So you want to have that in the back of your design. And so you want to make sure these both end in the back. And I'm going to pinch that in. Okay, I'm going to open this jump ring. And slip it on, and on your tassel there is a front and a back, so the knot is going to go in the back and the smooth side is going to go in the front. Close that little guy up, and now I'm going to cut another, I'm going to do 8 inches of the 20 gauge wire. So this is the 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, same thing, I'm going to leave about 2 inches of wire on the end here and twist this into a loop, and I'm going to make a smaller loop. I don't want this loop to be very big, and that's just a personal preference of mine. I'm going to wrap around tightly 2 times, and then on top of the wraps 2 times to get that messy wrap look, ending in the back, and then I'm going to trim it. And then you want to pinch that closed. And then I like to take the wrap and condense it. So I'm just pinching it between the pliers, just to kind of squeeze in all that wire together. Oh, I also have some little check glass O-bead spacers. So these are actually in the seed bead category family, but they're glass O-beads, and so I'm going to use those as spacers. You could use any flat spacers though, they don't have to be the O-beads. Those just happen to be some of my favorite, and then they're in this nice bronze color that matches the metal really well. I'm going to stick the English cut, so it's a 12 millimeter, the 10 millimeter English cut, the 12 millimeter flower, and another spacer, and then my 5x3 millimeter faceted bead. Now this one, it's a little bit trickier because you're going to want to attach it to the little branches. Now these branches are curved, and if you like the curved design, you can leave it. I happen to like them a little straighter, so I'm just going to very gently use my finger and thumb to straighten that out. And that's just my personal preference. You could leave them curved if you want. I just like them a little bit straighter in my design. And the design is only, well, let me show you. So you have the little branch part, and then the back are smoother, but there's still the branch texture. So you're just going to have one where the branches are going up and one where the little branch nodules are going down. So you just want to make sure you're attaching them the correct way when you put them on your wire. Okay. Now for this one, I'm going to bend the wire, grab it, and make my wrapped loop. I am going to make this one just a little bit bigger. So the one that I'm putting on the end of my branch here, it's going to be a little bit bigger. So I've made the loop, and I'm going to open it up with my pliers. So it's open just a little, and I'm going to slide on I think I want to do it the other way. Yeah, I'm going to slide on my connector here, the branch connector. They're called connectors if you needed the fancy title. Okay, now I'm going to close that loop up and wrap it around 2 times tightly and then 2 times loosely on top of the first wraps to get that messy wrapped texture that I love so much. Okay, and you want to make sure it ends in the back, and I see my mom is here, so I have to say, "Hi, Mom." Glad you get to watch me today. Okay, so there's my link, and I'm going to need this one. I'm going to go the other way. I need this one to go front and back instead of side to side. Is that right? No, I want it to go side to side because I'm going to attach it with a jump ring. So these turn pretty easily with just a little twist to make sure you have them going in the right direction. Because I am going to use two jump rings, two little 8mm brass jump rings to attach this to my necklace. So I'm going to take the large 15mm jump ring, attach it onto my bird, and I'm going to close that up. And then I'm going to attach the 8mm jump ring to my little beaded link here. And then I'm going to need a second pair of pliers, jade nose pliers, and close that up nice and tightly. Okay, and I'm going to repeat on the other side, and I'm just going to whip through it instead of talking my way so you guys can just see what I'm doing here. Oops. That was way too much. Oh well. So this is going to be the bottom of the link here, and I'm going to wrap around 2 times nice and tightly. Pinch it closed. I'm going to trim the end and pinch that little extra wire so it's not showing anywhere. The 10mm English cut, the spacer, my hibiscus bead that's 12mm, the O-ring spacer, O-bead spacer, and then the 3x5mm faceted bead. And I want the bottom one to be side by side and the top to be going front to back. And I'm going to make kind of a larger loop on this. Open that up and slide on your connector here. And you want to make sure they're both, that one's going to be going up and one's going to be going down so that their fronts are showing on your necklace. Hold that. Wrap it around 2 times tightly and then 2 times messy on the top. Want to make sure you're ending it in the back. Okay. And now I'm going to pinch this closed, maybe. Don't fight with me now, wire. Okay. And of course I want this front one to be going front to back, so you may have to hold one side and twist the other to make sure your wire is going in the right directions. Okay, now I'm going to slide on the 8mm jump ring. Let's see. I keep twisting it the wrong way. Okay, so I have that part side to side. Front to back, and then the bottom side to side. jump ring and then your piece, making sure you have it on the front. And now I'm going to close this jump ring up. Okay, now make sure that's the right way. Okay, to add my little flowers, I'm using this 9mm jump ring. And I'm going to string it through one of my 8mm jump rings, slip on my 3 little bell flowers, and then slip it through the other jump ring. So it's catching onto both the jump rings here in the middle. And then I'm going to close this up nice and tight. Okay. And so when it lays, those little guys are going to be hanging in the middle. And when I put it down on the table, they're going to roll around because they like to be rebels. But when you're wearing it, they wear hanging down the right way. Gravity does its job. Okay. Now you're going to want to grab some chain. And I think I cut about 24 inches or so of chain. You could just have it however long you would like. Since there's not a clasp, you want it to be at least 26 inches total to go over your head. And then 30 is kind of the max that looks right if you want a really long necklace. And you're just going to use your little 6mm jump rings or 5mm, and your jump rings can be smooth ones or fancy little twisted ones like I have here. And you're just going to attach your chain on both sides to the little connectors, and then that's your finished necklace. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. It was really just a simple little design. I'm pretty sure I've done a variation of these a million times because they're super easy to make, and you can use any little accent beads you want. You don't have to follow this exact pattern. If you have the similar sizes and shapes, go ahead and use what you have in your stash. Like I said, I will have a few kits, a very limited amount, listed after the video here, and then we're going to get the Sari silk photographed and listed too. So I'm going to say, let's say at 4 o'clock, I'll put it all live on the website so that you guys can go about your business and you don't have to watch the website for the next 2 hours. So at 4 o'clock, we're going to do that. So there is the finished necklace. I love it. You know, I did choose this color combination with ulterior motives in mind, so I'm going to wear this today. That's okay, right? Now, for the Sari silk, what I'm going to do is they're going to be sold in little bundles. And here, I'll flip it around again so you can see. So they're going to be in these little 1 yard bundles. So each of these are a yard, and so there's going to be 3 yards total, and they're all going to be cute little color combinations like this. And Catherine, I need to do my math real quick on the kits. I haven't finalized the math on that, so I don't have a price point yet, and that will be on at 4 o'clock, so you'll be able to see that. Sorry, I didn't sit down and do the math yet for the price. I was in the creative mode this afternoon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Super simple, super easy. Don't forget to join me again on Friday for my new bead coffee break that we're doing, where we're going to just show you what's new in stock or some of my favorites. And this week, I'm hoping that we have some faux tin from Jesse. He's kind of moving slow lately. I can't get him to go any faster. Carolyn, I'm in the Eastern time zone. Glad you asked. So, yeah, I'm hoping Jesse has some new faux tin pieces he's been working on. And so there'll be pieces like this Monet Garden is what we're working on. And so I really hope he feels fast with this little filing that he has to finish doing. So hoping that happens. If not, I know for sure I have new disc beads and birds that will be Friday. Lynn, thank you so much for asking. It's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the coffee break on Friday. So 3 p.m., grab a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink at 3 p.m. on a Friday. No judgments. And join me for a little show and tell of what's in the shop and things I want to share with you guys. So again, guys, that'll be 3 p.m. on Friday, Eastern Standard Time for the coffee talk. And at 4 o'clock today at humblebeads.com, I will have the Sari ribbon and the new kits. So that'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching me today. I really appreciate you joining me. Share this video if you like the project. Yes, Dina, I would like to send some fast vibes to Jesse too. He's working all the time. We've been really, really busy with orders, and so it requires him to work after our normal business hours, and he just hasn't felt like doing that. It's just been, you know how you guys feel. You go through productive times and not so productive times, and he puts in his 8 hours working at Humblebeads, and then he's not always ready to put in more time afterwards to do the creating part. So I'm really thankful for him, though, and for my kiddo who works and helps us fill the orders. So Humblebeads is definitely a family business, and we're so glad for your support and love. And thank you guys. Yes, share your tassels, whip some up, and share them in the Humblebeads VIP party group. I love to see what you guys make there, and definitely share your little tassels. They are so much fun. They're definitely one of those potato chip kind of projects. You can't just make one. You're going to want to make a bunch of them. And if you guys have been ordering from me for a long time, I know you have quite a little stash of Sari silk to play with. All right, guys, I'm going to go back to work. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on Friday. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.